When a farmer stumbles upon mysterious black eggs on his property, he is puzzled about the creature that could have produced them. Compelled to keep a vigilant eye on these unusual eggs, his curiosity only grows. His astonishment peaks when the eggs hatch, leading him to tears of disbelief. Farmer Matteo had long dreamed of running a thriving egg business. Nestled in a picturesque valley in Georgia, his family farm had been handed down through generations. However, recent years had been tough. What used to be a booming operation was now struggling to survive. The escalating costs of feed, increasing competition, and a declining market for his traditional brown and white eggs had all taken a toll on his business. When he unexpectedly discovered a dozen black eggs scattered throughout his property, he was so startled that he stood motionless for nearly 10 minutes. These were unlike any eggs he had ever seen. None of his chickens had produced anything remotely similar. For a moment, he thought they might be snake eggs and cautiously examined his surroundings, looking for any signs of snakes in the tall grass. Yet it seemed the creature that laid the eggs had left them behind. Farmer Matteo was at a loss. On one hand, these strange eggs could hatch into frightening creatures that he might later need to remove from his home. But on the other, they could be the key to revitalizing his struggling farm. If people were intrigued by the novelty of black eggs, they might pay a premium, possibly even for the meat, if the chickens were also black, especially around Halloween. This could be his chance to turn his fortunes around, unless someone claimed the eggs first. Matteo was no thief, yet since the eggs were on his land, he felt compelled to protect them. He whispered a quiet "sorry" to the unknown mother of the eggs and began to carefully transport them to his truck. He planned to place them in an incubator back at the farm, eagerly waiting for them to hatch and unveil their mystery. In the days that followed, Matteo kept a vigilant watch over the eggs, meticulously adjusting the temperature and humidity to simulate the warmth they would receive from a mother hen. Each morning, he would check on them, his spirits lifting at the sight of the sleek black shells still unbroken. He allowed himself to dream of the unusual creatures that might soon emerge. Would they too be entirely black? During quiet moments, he imagined the buzz these unique eggs might create, picturing crowds coming to his farm, all eager to catch a glimpse of completely black chickens. Despite his enthusiasm, Matteo remained guarded, aware that much time could pass before the eggs would hatch. Weeks drifted by as he awaited the emergence of life from the black eggs. The anticipated hatching date came and went, yet no signs of activity appeared. Daily, Matteo peered into the incubator, hoping to see the shells crack or to hear the soft chirps of chicks, but the eggs lay silent and motionless, their dark exteriors seemingly taunting his hopes. As more days passed with no change, Matteo's initial excitement turned to doubt. Had he made a mistake in bringing these eggs home? Were they even from a chicken? Doubts began to cloud his mind, threatening the confidence he had in his decision, as he pondered the possibility that he might have inadvertently put his entire farm at risk. Matteo's daily life had become a constant cycle of meticulous care and increasing worry. He woke before dawn, starting his day with a check on the incubator's temperature and humidity. Despite his mounting anxiety, he clung to hope, reassuring himself that the mysterious eggs represented a stroke of luck rather than a harbinger of doom. After his careful monitoring, he would move on to his usual farm duties, feeding the chickens, cleaning their coops, and collecting the standard brown and white eggs. His farm was still floundering, and the demands of upkeep hung heavily on him. Each chore felt more taxing than the last, and his concern for the black eggs overshadowed all his activities. One cold morning, Matteo awoke, feeling distinctly unwell. His head pounded, and his body was racked with aches and fever. He attempted to soldier on, but it soon became evident that he was too sick to manage his daily responsibilities. The relentless stress and sleep-deprived nights had finally taken their toll, confining him to his bed and rendering him unable to tend to his farm. As the days blurred into one another, Matteo lay bedridden, his thoughts clouded by fever. The farm, once a hive of activity, began to falter. Weeds sprouted unchecked, the chicken coops grew filthy, and the feed bins neared emptiness. The production of eggs decreased noticeably, reflecting the impact of Matteo's absence on the farm. The close-knit community around Matteo's farm started to pick up on the visible decline of the place. Neighbors began to whisper, worried about the farm that used to flourish, now showing signs of neglect. Noah, a longtime friend and neighbor of Matteo's, was the first to spring into action. Concerned for his friend, he made his way over to the farmhouse, immediately noticing the disarray. After knocking on the door, Noah found Matteo in a dire state, barely able to rise from his bed. Recognizing the gravity of his friend's illness, Noah quickly stepped in to help. Noah reassured Matteo, promising to handle the farm duties while he focused on recovering. With determination, Noah set about reviving the farm operations. He fed the chickens, cleaned their coops, and ensured all the animals were well cared for. He even called upon other neighbors to join in helping maintain the farm's operations. However, amidst the chaos and Matteo's weakened condition, he neglected to mention the unusual black eggs in the incubator. Unaware of what was tucked away, Noah and the neighbors were soon to discover the astonishing secret Matteo had been so anxiously guarding. One evening, as Noah was wrapping up his work on the farm, a faint chirping caught his attention. His heart raced as he dashed into the chicken coop, flashlight in hand. As he moved through the rows of nests, the peeping grew louder. He finally reached the incubator, where he noticed one of the black eggs beginning to move. Stunned, he wondered how Matteo had come across such unusual eggs. Excited and slightly apprehensive, Noah hurried back to the farmhouse to share the news with Matteo that the mysterious eggs were beginning to hatch. What on earth could be inside them? He pondered aloud. Matteo, still feeble, but eyes shining with a glimmer of hope, shook his head. "I don't know," he admitted, but the spark in his gaze suggested he was eager to find out. He then shared the full tale with Noah, the discovery of the eggs, the intense monitoring, and his fears that they might spell trouble for the farm. Yet now, with the eggs hatching and his friends by his side, Matteo felt a surge of gratitude. Whatever emerged from those eggs, whether it be a challenge or a blessing, he knew they would face it together, ready to tackle any difficulties or celebrate any wonders that came their way. 2 days later, Matteo had regained enough strength to leave his bed. He and Noah knelt beside the incubator, their faces just inches from the eggs, eagerly awaiting the hatching. As the first chick broke through its shell, Matteo momentarily paused the moment with a request. "Sorry for the interruption. Before we continue with the story, I kindly ask you to like the video and subscribe to this channel. It is very important for us. Thank you very much." As the first chick fully emerged, both men exhaled a deep sigh of relief upon seeing that the creatures inside were indeed birds. Their relief quickly turned to awe as they observed the chick's features. Its feathers were a deep, glossy black that shimmered subtly in the low light. The chick blinked its bright eyes open and let out a small, triumphant chirp. One by one, the rest of the eggs began to hatch. Each chick was a spectacle, adorned with sleek black feathers and lively, curious eyes. The process of hatching was captivating, as each chick struggled and persevered to break free from its shell, mirroring the resilience shown by Matteo through his own challenges. He watched, spellbound, as the final chick made its way into the world. Noah quickly pulled out his phone and started searching for answers online. After a moment, his voice trembled with excitement as he said, "These might be Amsamani chicks." Matteo turned to him, puzzled, having never heard of Amsamani chicks. Noah, chuckling at the discovery, explained that these chickens are a rare breed from Indonesia, renowned for their striking jet-black appearance, including their eyes, beaks, feathers, and even their bones. The eggs of these chickens could fetch a staggering price, and Noah was confident that people would pay just to see such unique chickens in person. He was baffled about how those eggs had ended up on Mateo's farm, but was sure they could solve all his financial worries. At that revelation, Mateo was overcome with emotion. Tears welled in his eyes as the magnitude of what this meant for him and his farm sunk in. He had endured so much hardship and sacrifice, and now, finally, he held the promise of a renewed future. The sight of the Amsamani chicks, so rare and exquisitely beautiful, filled him with a deep sense of relief and joy. He allowed himself to cry freely, his tears mingling with the straw on the floor. This moment marked a significant turning point. What had seemed like a brink of failure was now a door to prosperity. The hatching of the black eggs signaled a new and hopeful chapter for Mateo's farm. Word spread quickly in the community about the miraculous hatching. Neighbors who had stood by Mateo during his tough times congregated at his farm, eager to see the extraordinary chicks. The Amsamani, with their jet-black feathers and mesmerizing beauty, left everyone spellbound. For Mateo, this moment was more than just a boost to his financial prospects. It symbolized the revival of his nearly forsaken dreams and the passion he had invested in his work. The Amsamani chicks represented a new beginning, an opportunity to rebuild and flourish. Watching the chicks peck at the straw and explore their surroundings filled Mateo with a sense of accomplishment he hadn't felt for a long time. In the following days, he devoted himself to their care, making sure they had everything they needed. He built a special pen for them, equipped with heat lamps and clean bedding, and meticulously recorded their progress, noting every aspect of their growth and behavior. Their sleek black feathers sparkled under the sun, and their spirited antics infused the farm with a vibrant energy. Before long, Mateo discovered something remarkable about the chicks. They possessed unique traits that extended beyond their stunning looks. These chicks were exceptionally hardy, thriving in conditions that would have been challenging for other breeds. They grew quickly, gaining strength faster than Mateo had expected, and exhibited a resilience that distinguished them. Their feathers were not just black, they had an iridescent quality that made them glisten with shades of green and purple under the right light, as though they were touched by magic. Mateo carefully recorded each remarkable trait of the Amsamani chicks. He realized that his flock was extraordinary, even among their rare breed, making them a potential treasure trove. The news of the exceptional chicks quickly traveled, attracting attention from beyond just the local community. One day, a man named Mr. Rossi visited the farm. He was a wealthy investor with a keen interest in rare and exotic breeds. Mr. Rossi had caught wind of Mateo's Amsamani chicks and came to see them firsthand. Upon seeing the chicks, he was immediately enchanted by their unique allure and robust health. "These chicks are extraordinary. I've never seen anything quite like them," Mr. Rossi exclaimed. Mateo's chest swelled with pride as he acknowledged their uniqueness and shared how much effort he had invested in their upbringing. Mr. Rossi, with a thoughtful nod, responded, "I can see that," he remarked. "I believe these birds hold immense potential, not only for breeding but also for captivating niche markets that appreciate their rarity and beauty enough to pay top dollar. I'd like to make you an offer." As Mr. Rossi laid out his proposal, Mateo's heart thumped with excitement. Mr. Rossi was prepared to invest in the farm, offering the financial backing necessary to expand and enhance operations. In exchange, he wanted a share in the future earnings from the sales and breeding of the Amsamani. The offer was generous, promising to secure Mateo's financial well-being and guarantee the farm's ongoing stability and development. Matteo listened intently to the proposal, considering the possibilities it presented. This was the breakthrough he had been hoping for, an opportunity not just to salvage his farm, but to elevate it beyond his greatest expectations. With a decisive handshake, he accepted Mr. Rossi's offer, feeling a profound sense of relief. The partnership promised that his Amsamani chicks would bring both prosperity and renown to his farm. Yet, there was more to come. On a bright afternoon, while tending to his flock, Matteo noticed an unusual chick among them. It was noticeably larger than its siblings, and its feathers displayed an exceptionally vivid, iridescent sheen. Curious, Matteo decided to investigate further. He examined the chick and was captivated by its striking blue eyes, a stark contrast to the dark eyes of the other Amsamani. A wave of excitement washed over him as he realized this chick might be a rare mutation. Eager for expert confirmation, he promptly reached out to a geneticist who specialized in poultry to take a closer look at this remarkable chick. The geneticist arrived and performed a comprehensive analysis on the chick. The findings were nothing short of spectacular. The chick exhibited a rare genetic mutation that not only enhanced its striking appearance, but also its resilience and growth rate. This chick became the epitome of the Imani breed, surpassing all others in beauty and vigor. As word of this unique chick spread, interest surged from collectors, breeders, and enthusiasts eager to witness or even own such a marvel. The offers started flooding in, each more lucrative than the last. This singular genetic anomaly guaranteed that Matteo's farm would dominate the rare poultry market for the foreseeable future. With the value and demand for his Imani chicks solidified, Matteo's future success and the sustainability of his farm were secured. Every day, Matteo would stand in the coop, watching these regal birds forage, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction wash over him. Against all odds, he had not only saved his farm, but had turned it into a symbol of hope and achievement. Did you find this story inspiring? How have you navigated through tough times like Matteo? What advice would you give to those facing similar challenges? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Remember, sometimes miracles occur just when we seem to have lost all hope. Thank you for listening. Join us next time for another story. Have a wonderful day.